Economist and best-selling author Harry Dent talked about his forecast for a 40% correction to hit markets as early as June. He was previously looking at April and has since pushed the moving target to June, but reiterates that the correction will be massive and reminiscent of 1929. He said that the reason the small caps did better in this last year because the fiscal stimulus goes more to real companies and small caps. When you do monetary stimulus, it just throws you more money in the whole financial pot and it makes the biggest stocks and the leading stocks indices like the Nasdaq and the S&P go up the most. Small caps are doing better. Nasdaq is the one that's weak now. Harry says that we were warning in late 2019 that by early 2020 we should have a major crash. Well, pandemic was the perfect trigger and you could have blamed it on that, but it was set to go down anyway. Let's say the crash starts in early June. That would put it maybe bottoming in August. This is coming from a megaphone pattern ever since January 2008 when the first real bubble hit headwinds and peaked. Henry adds up that we have been going more sideways ever since slightly. Higher highs, but the lows have been more significantly below. We are in that final phase of the megaphone where if it breathes wide, if it breaks 4000, then you start to get in that danger zone and the target. The first target down is 2100. If we have a significant break, this will be as big a first crash. Depressions take at least 2 years and usually closer to 3. The Great Depression was 34 months. That's 2 months short of 3 years. This one will be more dramatic because it's been stretched. When it finally blows, it will blow harder and a little faster. So let's say we were to peak now, in let's say early June, maybe a little a month from now. We'll have this first crack well. It's going to bounce after that a little. Take half of that back and then it will go down more steadily for a couple years. The earliest time for a bottom is the end of 2022 and the latest time would be the end of 2023. The economy, the stocks will literally bomb. The economy is not going to come out of it until at least mid of 2023. So you have got like 2 more years of volatility and economy stuff minimum, and it could be longer. The 1929 crash, which is the most comparable to this, took 34 months for stocks to bottom, and then after stocks bottom, it took another 7 years. The economy bottomed and turned up straight up for years and years. You just keep putting more money. You get hyperinflation, so bonds get killed and gold goes up and real estate does in between. You have limited options now because this is the bubble of everything, including cryptos. Anybody think that Bitcoin's gonna be the same? And look at the 2020 crash. Bonds did the best. Gold did down and up, but overall lost and corporate bonds lost. So everything lost except for the treasury bonds, and Bitcoin did the worst by far. Now Harry tells us an important thing here. He says that the safest part of the portfolio is treasury bonds. 30% is minimum, but 30-year treasury bonds, TLTS and ETF, which averages 20% in between. That's your safest haven that should appreciate. Now you can be in cash and watch things fall, and that's really good. You are in cash and stocks fall 60 to 80%. Well, now you can buy more stocks, but the treasury bond goes up 20 to 40%, and then you buy more and more stocks. So and then you have other things people can do so. That's the key thing. It's your risk profile. Somebody older, more conservative would lean way more towards a treasury bond. Somebody younger or really take more risk, you are going to make more money. Unleveraged shorting stocks. You are going to make the most money doing that, says Harry. In the short, the stocks is usually the safest play you could be. Short stocks and then just have a bunch of cash because stocks are having an inflationary environment or depletion. What normally happens is people don't realize how much the large smart money traders, people in high leverage creating billions and billions of dollars and leveraging that up to 20 to 20 times, how much they drive tomorrow when these people soar on a top and start to short it. It goes down where the people are still piling in the dumps money. What happened here? For the first time in history, these small traders on the internet and all betting on crypto and stuff, the big money traders did lose money. So for the first time, the Robin Hoods beat the Sheriff of Nottingham. That's what's admirable. But at the same time, these crazy people drove up, gained stock to valuations that made no sense whatsoever. So they are still acting like dumb money, and they still think these same traders would tell you when this crash comes. Bitcoin is going to be 10. The quick crash in 2020, which saw a short depression and not just a recession, because it covered crypto, went down the most. It would not be the safe haven. Crypto is the epitome of this bubble, just like dot-com stocks, like Amazon were, the epitome of the prior tech bubble, and they went down the most as well. A lot of things have been going down in price, all types of technology and computer equipment, and even a lot of areas of real estate haven't gone up as much as other things. Commodities are going up, there are things going up. Inflation would go down because people would get more productive while they are earning more money and spending more money. That drives down inflation, and commodity prices had really peaked back in 2009 and in that peak. So inflation is coming up, especially with all this stimulus and people just spending even more than they would naturally. But it's not going up that much. It's like we are a little over 2%, and that 10-year treasury bond actually ought to be at 3.5 to 4, and it's not be the 2.3. This rebound isn't going to last long because they have already so overstimulated, and we are still at the bottoming of the demographic curve from 2000. At the end, Harry says that when things go down, they are only going to hit harder, and the fundamentals are still weak until at least 2023. The bond market is going to pick it up before the stock market. The stock market is on crack anyway, so it has no mind. More and more stimulus money is going to go somewhere. So it goes especially in the big capsule. The bond market is telling us this recovery is not going to be as strong as the stock market bank. The Fed is concerned, they are screwed. Once you have gone this far, you only have one choice: keep doubling down. But of course, if you keep doubling down, eventually you get a zero and you get wiped out. They don't have another choice. They tried to taper ever so urgently in 2018, and boom, the repo crisis. They had to suddenly re-inject hundreds of billions of dollars to keep the repo crisis from blowing up. The whole monetary system, the banks were falling apart just because the Fed tapered, not because of a deep recession, not because the pandemic hadn't hit. It was already failing. They are trapped in this. So guys, I will upload one more video of Henry Dent where we will discuss further about all these things. So stay tuned for the next video and do subscribe to this beautiful channel.